Looks inside, feeds Johnson. This could be it. Goes up and lays it in for two. And Deante Johnson is a member of the 1,000-point club as a Union Bulldog. Congratulations. And dunks. Get the rebound to Hagan. Hagan ahead to White. White into Johnson. Dunk. 5. With that Milligan team as airballing a 3 there, Stevens, and putting it back up with a dunk with authority is Johnson. Replacing Tucker goes down the lane. Quick dish to Deante Johnson on the left block, who spins back to the middle and puts it. Will be Tucker, no good. Johnson's there for the offensive board. Top of the key. Big man's going to spin move. Jumper from the elbow, banks it in. Tip is won by Union. It'll be Hagan controlling things. Over to Tucker. Looks inside to Johnson. Johnson gathers in the paint, puts this one up and in. Right on, he gets a 4-on-2 break and get off the White. White thinking about the 3 in transition. This is into Johnson, who lays it up and good. Just fly here, yeah. He's 82%, but this is what matters, folks. Down 1 with 35 seconds. Can your big man finish 2 free throws? First one up and good for Deante Johnson.
Your boy's coming in.
Ball game. Swagler Azu comes back in. Johnson, he's a big-time three-point shooter as well. Something to keep in mind here in the last 35 seconds. Don't say I told you so if it happens. Next one all the way for Johnson. Good. The big man hits both of them. Union was on defense there, but just caused enough to get it away. As now Johnson gets it from the left side, puts it up and in on Harris. Pass ahead to White. White's going to pull up in transition and lob it up to Johnson. Johnson goes to work on Robinson, puts it up and in. Johnson over to Buter, inside to Johnson. Johnson kept the ball up and puts it up and in. Finds Tucker, feeds it into Johnson. Johnson goes up and one. Johnson. Inside to Johnson. Johnson gathers, puts it up and in. Johnson had to White. Gonna lob it into Johnson. Right about Cusick, goes up, double team, puts it up and in. That's a beats it into Johnson over on the right side of the floor. Johnson double team, puts it back up and in anyway. Stevens back to Kapinga. Inside Johnson. Now he's gonna get caught.
Like you said, Kapinga, a good basketball player as Deante Johnson lays it.
Tyler Wagner. Stevens across the middle now. Johnson, who puts it up in 6'3". Hagan's listed at as Johnson tracks down the offensive board. He clears everybody out. He wants to take it himself and goes and lays it in. As Hagan goes down to layup, won't go. Johnson gets the offensive rebound and puts it back up. Right over the top to Johnson. Johnson gathers, reverse layup and one. Takes it quickly the other way. No good. Johnson puts up the offensive board. Who did it? But I'll take Burton's word for it as Johnson gets it inside and hobbles it, but puts it up with his left hand. Won't go. Johnson pulls down the rebound and puts it up and in. Johnson puts this one up. Good. Johnson is perfect. Kentucky Christian team is not going to lay down. Johnson pump fake, puts it up and in for 2. Shot feeds quickly inside of Johnson. Johnson's going to go up on Ellis and put it up and in. Milligan quickly the other way. Johnson from the right block puts it up and in. Johnson wants the computer, gives it to Tucker, who goes over the top to Deante Johnson, who puts it up and in. A pass over on the baseline to Johnson. Johnson going up on the left block, puts it up and in. Back out front now to Buter over on the left wing. Buter looking inside to Johnson. Finally gets it into him, working on McLeod. As Johnson bullies his way into the quickly out front to Stevens. Shoots a pass into Johnson, goes up off the right block, up and in for 2. White gets a screen from Johnson, now hits him with a bounce pass. Johnson goes up from the left block and puts it up to White. White, man, got away with a walk there. Looks inside to Johnson, backs it back out. Back to Wagner. Wagner over the top to Johnson, who gathers and dunks. Hagan's off and running. Leaves it for Johnson, who lays it up and in.
Great.
Staples gets a screen. On to Johnson, drives on Johnson, puts it up, and Johnson just takes it two-handed away. Now Hagens out running in front of everybody, goes up and slams this one down. Hagens looks for a cutting newbie, instead goes into Johnson, who seals and puts that one up from the left block. Back out to Stevens. Stevens gets a screen from newbie, lobs it up for Johnson. Johnson grabs it, puts this one up, and one. As gets over to Hagens, lobs it inside to Johnson. Johnson with a dunk inside. Comes across of it, instead to go inside to Johnson. Johnson doubled on the baseline, now singled on the baseline by Stone. Noah pass inside to Tucker. Tucker dishes to Johnson, who puts it up and in, and one for Johnson. Tucker lobs it up to Johnson. Johnson spins to the middle. He's triple team, puts it up anyway, and powers it up and in. Newbie instead to White. White looks inside to Johnson. Johnson powers it up and in off the block, and you can tell right. Williams on the block, throws it up partially blocked by Johnson, and John White. White, deep right wing, looks for the back door and goes over the top to Johnson, and Johnson's going to eat. Stevens, deep right wing, Noah passes to Johnson. Johnson powers it up and in on the block because Johnson missed a shot. Gets it back out to Tucker, and now fadeaway jumper by Johnson goes. Johnson with the L to Wagner. Wagner takes all day to shoot a three, no good. Johnson goes over three people, gets a rebound, and puts it back up and in. Coach Burton quickly ahead to White. White's going to lob it up for Johnson, and Johnson finishes on the other end.